Last week I compared the Bluetti EB3A PowerStation to its sister unit, the EB55. In today's video, I'm going to be comparing the EB3A to EcoFlow's River 2 PowerStation. I want to help you see which one might fit your needs better, so stick around. I might also add that this PowerStation comes in 3 different variations: in the base model, the max model, which I have here, or the pro model. Each level that you go up offers higher specs and more capability for what the PowerStation can do. But for today's video, I'll just be comparing the specs for the base unit, not the max specifically, which is what I have here. This is just for demonstration. So getting right into it, I'm just gonna go through and list all of the specs for each PowerStation. And then we'll go through and compare them against each other and kind of weigh the pros and cons for each one. Starting with the Bluetti EB3A, we have a 268.8 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery. It is rated up to 2,500 cycles down to 80% original capacity. In the front, we have 2 AC outlets that are rated up to 600 watts, running off of a pure sine wave inverter with a surge power rating of 1200 watts. We also have 1 USB-C port with a maximum rating of 100 watts. We have 2 USB-A type ports with a max of 3 amps. We have 1 car outlet rated up to 10 amps of power. And we have 2 of the DC 5521 plugs, also rated up to 10 amps. Something unique about this one is it also comes standard with a wireless charging pad on top that's rated up to 15 watts. So you can charge your cell phone. Now, for charging in standard mode, it can receive up to 268 watts, or in turbo mode, up to 350 watts for fast charging. The solar input max is 200 watts. Between 12 and 28 volts. So you couldn't do series, but you can do parallel with a 8.5 amp maximum for the solar. Now, one cool feature, if you combine both the AC charging and DC charging from solar, you can get up to 430 watts of charging simultaneously to really fast charge the PowerStation. It also does offer pass-through charging, and it weighs 10.14 pounds. The dimensions are 10 inches long by 7 inches wide and 7 inches tall. And it also comes standard with a 24-month warranty, or 2 years. And then the cables that come with the PowerStation when you buy it is the AC charging cable that does not have a power brick, which is convenient. And it also comes with the solar charging cable, which I always appreciate. Okay, now for the EcoFlow River 2 base model specs. It comes in at a 256 watt-hour battery weighing 7.7 pounds. Its dimensions are 9.6 inches long by 8.5 inches wide and 5.7 inches tall. For the AC charging capability, it can handle up to 360 watts of maximum input. The solar input has an 8 amp max up to 110 watts with a range of voltage between 11 and 30 volts. So you also couldn't connect 2 solar panels in series, but you can do it in parallel. The inverter is rated at 300 watts with a surge up to 600 watts. For the DC output, we have 100 watts max, or up to 8 amps. And on the USB Type A outlets, we have a 2.4 amp or 12 watt max. Now, the rated battery capacity down to 80% is up to 3,000 cycles. So once you reach up to 3,000 cycles of using and recharging the battery, will gradually reduce to 80%. Those are the main specs with the EcoFlow River 2 PowerStation. So now if we go ahead and compare the 2 units to each other, starting off with the dimensions, the Bluetti EB3A is slightly larger with a dimension of 10 by 7 by 7, while the EcoFlow River 2 is 9.6 by 8.5 by 5.7. And probably the more notable difference in the physical size is that the Bluetti weighs 3 pounds heavier at 10.14 pounds, while the EcoFlow River 2 comes in at 7.7 pounds. Physical size isn't a huge difference between the two, though the Bluetti is slightly larger, but if it does matter in the situation or scenario that you're going to be using it, then that's something to take note of. But as far as the weight for picking them up, I mean, 10 pounds is very manageable for anyone to pick up. Now, I don't know why this is. They both have the lithium iron phosphate battery chemistry. However, the EcoFlow is rated up to 3,000 cycles, while the Bluetti is 500 less, up to 2,500 cycles, down to 80% original battery life. And I'm not sure why there's a difference there. Maybe Bluetti is just rating their unit more conservatively, but at the end of the day, they're both offering the same battery chemistry, and 2,500 to 3,000 cycles is a very long time to be able to use your PowerStation. They'll both last a very long time. Now, considering the output, here is a substantial difference where the Bluetti is rated up to a 600 watt pure sine wave inverter, while the EcoFlow is half that at 300 watts. And likewise, the surge rating up to 1,200 watts up to 600 watts. It's double the capacity. So if you're needing to run larger devices that require more than 300 watts on a regular basis, you're going to have to go with the Bluetti. Now, I'm also noticing that on the Bluetti, they offer a little bit higher specs for their inputs and outputs. So, for example, the USB ports, they have a 3 amp max on the Bluetti, while on the River 2, they have a max of 2.4 amps. Now, for the USB-C, the Bluetti offers up to 100 watts, while the EcoFlow only offers up to 60 watts max. Also on the Bluetti, it offers a 10 amp max on the car outlet. On the EcoFlow, it's an 8 amp max. And just for an example, I have a diesel heater that requires 10 amps of electricity on startup to run the diesel heater. After it's going, it only draws like 1 amp or something very minimally like that, just to run the fans. But during startup, I need the full output of 10 amps to be able to start the heater. Whereas if I had the EcoFlow at 8 amps, I wouldn't even be able to start the diesel heater. Now for charging, the Bluetti offers a standard 268 watts of AC charging up to 350. On the EcoFlow, they offer a 360 watt max for AC charging, which surpasses the fast charging on the Bluetti. Now, I will add though, the Bluetti can be charged up to 430 watts combined with the DC charging, which does surpass the EcoFlow. Now, for the DC charging, the Bluetti can handle up to 200 watts max, or 8.5 amps, while the EcoFlow can only handle up to 110 watts, or 8 amps. So overall, I would say the Bluetti does come out ahead for the charging. Let's also not forget the battery capacity size, 268.8 watt hours and 256 watt hours on the EcoFlow. While I'm comparing these two, the Bluetti and the EcoFlow, I just have some thoughts about the two different companies. It seems like Bluetti has always been targeting the more practical customers, or people a little more knowledgeable into the solar industry, while EcoFlow has really awesome marketing and they target the everyday consumer. And props to EcoFlow, they always seem to come out with some pretty sweet products that they just look awesome. Their designs are awesome, the marketing is awesome, and they're just really cool. However, that being said, they're targeting more, it just seems like Bluetti targets more of a practical use case, while EcoFlow targets the flashy numbers or the flashy scenarios like fast charging via AC power, which has also forced Bluetti to like compete with that as well. But like, for example, for a long time, EcoFlow has offered a lower grade of battery that didn't last near as long as lithium iron phosphate, which Bluetti has been offering for a very long time. And EcoFlow has also been offering crazy fast recharge times via the AC wall, which is very inefficient and can much more quickly reduce the life of your PowerStation, causing you to buy another one. So it just kind of seems like Bluetti targets the more practical customers that are aware of solar power and want to harness it in the best way that they can. While EcoFlow is a lot more flashy and markets a great product. Not trying to say anything bad about either company, it's just kind of what I've been noticing between the two companies. And I'm very grateful to EcoFlow for finally switching over to lithium iron phosphate batteries, because that opens the door to a lot more customers who have been interested in their products in the past. Anyways, that's just a little tidbit between the two companies that I've been noticing. So just looking this up today, you can buy the Bluetti EB3A power station on Amazon they have it listed at $299 with a $90 off coupon. So that's $210 roughly for the EB3A. While the EcoFlow River 2 power station is listed at $239 with a $30 coupon, which is $209. So if you went out to buy either one today, they are the exact same price, $210 on Amazon. So that being said, which one do I recommend you to buy? It all depends on your needs. So if you're needing something that can power something a little more power hungry, then you're going to want to choose the higher inverter size of 600 watts with the Bluetti. But if the slightly smaller size and more modern design is more appealing to you, then by all means pick the EcoFlow River 2. At the end of the day, it just seems like the Bluetti EB3 is a much more capable power station, while the EcoFlow is a more modern, flashy type unit. And something that you get with the Bluetti is the wireless charging pad on top, where the EcoFlow does not offer that. I will also add that both power stations come with the ability to control them via an app on your phone, and you can monitor how fast they charge and how quickly they're being charged. You can turn on or off the DC or AC outputs and things like that. So which one am I going to be choosing? As tempting as it is to go for the EcoFlow, I'm definitely going to be choosing the Bluetti EB3A at the end of the day, because it just has a lot more to offer for the specs, and it's the exact same price. Like I've said before, this is definitely a more practical use case scenario going with the Bluetti EB3A than it is for the EcoFlow. But still, if you choose the EcoFlow, at the end of the day, all that matters is that you choose one or the other that fits your needs the best. And so if that is the EcoFlow, great. If that's the EB3A, also great. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope I've been able to help compare and contrast the differences and weigh the pros and cons between these two power stations, the Bluetti EB3A versus the EcoFlow River 2. And I hope I've been able to help you make an informed decision of which one is best to buy for your situation. With that all being said, thank you again for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I would really appreciate even more if you would like and subscribe, because it really does help out my channel. Also, please leave any comments or questions or your thoughts down below, because I do read all of them and respond to them. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.